For members of the Petite Revolution, you likely saw the article in People magazine about petite coats. In case you missed it, the writer had added examples for each of my suggestions from Amazon. I had taken a look and thought she actually did a really fantastic job of finding the exact style that I had mentioned. About 30 seconds after I sent out the link, a VIP client reached out. Now, it was an email, but her outraged tone was very clear. She said something along the lines of, "These aren't even petite sizes." Her message actually made my heart happy, not because she was irritated, but because she stood so firm and confident in her sizing. She needs petite size clothes. Regular sized garments do not work for her. I may be giving us too much credit, but I don't think so. When the petite revolution started in 2018, women weren't even talking about whether they were petite or a fancy petite hybrid. Back then, nobody mentioned the 8 different measurements that makes a garment petite sized. The conversation started and ended with pretty much, "Are you short?" So, totally stealing a line from some ancient commercial or ad campaign, we have come a long way. So, in this episode, in honor of Patricia and all the other women out there that require petite sizes or have struggled to find coats that fit, we're going to cover all things winter coats and jackets, like how to find one that fits, the 2 coats every petite needs in her closet, the trends to check out after those 2 are taken care of, and it wouldn't be an Inside Petite Style episode if we didn't talk body shape and which styles are best on each. By the end, you'll know exactly what you need and, most importantly, where to find them. I'm Angela, your petite style coach, and when you're ready, let's dive in. Welcome to Inside Petite Style, the only podcast created exclusively for women 5'3" and under. You've built an incredible career. You've navigated all the crazy life changes. And somewhere along the way, getting dressed stopped being easy. Maybe your body's different or your role is different, and your closet, it just has not kept up. I'm Angela Foster, petite style coach since 2018 and creator of the Spark Petite Style Method. And together, you and I will get your wardrobe back in shape. Every week, we'll talk about why petite proportions require a different approach. Discover what actually flatters your body shape and works with your lifestyle. And get all the insider shortcuts on where to shop so you're not wasting hours scrolling or, even worse, settling for good enough. This is about more than looking good. It's about walking into any room, whether it's a big presentation or client meeting, a family event, or heck, just Tuesday, and feeling confident, polished, with a style as smart and savvy as you are. Let's get this style party started. Let's start first with fit. The problem many petites run into when it comes to coats sounds a lot like the sleeves are too long, the shoulders are too wide, or there's too much fabric and makes me look like the Michelin Man. Now, the first 2 are fit problems. The last one, the too bulky, can be a wrong fit, a wrong style, or a bit of both. We'll tackle the styles a bit later in the episode. First, let's figure out which size is perfect for you. Many women, petites included, think that petite size clothes are just shorter, but it goes a ton deeper than that. In fact, episode 8 is all about the differences between petite versus regular sized clothes and how to determine which one fits you best. I'll add the link to the description so you can find it easily, and that would definitely be the next one to listen to. In the meantime, because I don't want you to be lost, here's a quick recap of the differences. Starting at the top, here are the important measurements to know when deciding to purchase either a petite coat or a regular size coat. Petite coats will be narrower between the shoulders. The armholes are cut higher. The elbow allowance is higher. The sleeve length is shorter. There's also things like dart placement and waist tailoring, but for our purposes, those are the most important ones. And then, of course, petite coats are going to be shorter. All that to say, just because you're short doesn't mean you need petite size coats. Some petites are long-waisted and can get by with a regular size coat. If that's you, then hang tight. On the other hand, if you frequently find that shoulder seams hit below your shoulder, or the sleeve hem lands on your hand instead of at your wrist, Or a garment fits tight in the bust and the darts are actually below your bust, then for the best fit, you will likely require petite sized tops, sweaters, and especially coats because they are incredibly difficult and expensive and time consuming to alter, even when you have a super talented tailor on your team. Now that you have a better idea of what size you're looking for, we're going to move on to the two coat styles every petite should have in her closet. The first is a trench or raincoat, something that's water repellent. On a side note, whether you're petite on top or not, when shopping for a trench coat, try to avoid an excessive amount of flaps and straps and belts and all those other unnecessary style details. Not only do they add bulk to our frame, but they are too frequently overwhelming. So keep that style as minimalist as possible. The second is a versatile wool coat. Now, the length and thickness will depend on where you live. However, even if you live in the South and escape the frigid northern temperatures, many of us do travel in the winter to someplace colder. And coats, especially if you require petite sizing, is not something that you want to last minute panic shop for. Also, consider color. Since the goal of those two pieces is to be timeless and versatile as possible, choose a color that will go with the majority of your wardrobe. So if you're missing either of those, fill in those gaps first. That's going to make your winter life so much easier. Be sure to stick around until the end when we're going to talk about where to find these two closet must-haves. Now we're ready for the first coat trend. And petites are going to love this because it's dramatically long coats. Like skirts and dresses, we're best off when we go short or long. It's when we land in the middle that we can get into trouble. So all these maxi length coats are going to look amazing on you. Plus, be extra warm in case you live in Canada. Just always remember, wherever the hem lands will add width to that area. So if it hits at our hips will look wider. If it ends at our thighs are going to look wider. Most of us don't really fret about fat ankles, so the hem landing ankle length is a brilliant choice. Now we're ready to play around with fun seasonal trends. The ones that look best on you and avoid the Michelin Man kerfuffle depend entirely on your body shape. In case you're new here, first, thanks so much for stopping by. Welcome to the Petite Revolution. And as soon as this episode wraps, you'll want to hop on over and take the Petite Body Shape Quiz. For petites especially, it's critical to know the styles that flatter your shape best. The reason is because we have less vertical real estate. Iffy choices that taller women can get away with are disastrous on us because they make us look shorter and wider. When it comes to coats, choosing your best styles is even more important because it's so frequently a multi-year purchase. So our mistakes hang around for season after season, much more so than, say, just an unfortunate shoe choice. Also, like we talked about before, they're difficult, if not impossible, to have altered. Now, the quiz is super fast. It only is 7 questions and takes about 2 minutes. It lives full time at InsidePetiteStyle.com. I'll also add the quiz link to the episode description so you don't have to hunt it down. Next trend is prints, and they are super popular this season. Prints like leopard, houndstooth, zebra, and other animal prints, and of course, plaid. Now, when it comes to which style for which body shape, keep 2 things in mind. The first one is just to revisit where the hem lands will look wider, and also where do you want to add visual volume based on your body shape. So for example, body shape number 6, your shoulders and bust are more delicate than your bum, hip, and thigh area. So you'll want to look for a style that hits at the waist and is slightly boxy, or even has a more detailed, exaggerated collar. For body shape number 4s, your hip, bum, and thighs are more delicate and smaller than your shoulders and bust. So you'll want to look for a style that's tailored from the waist up and fuller from the waist down. So take a look for A-line neckline or swing styles. Now, body shape number 3, because you're balanced, your shoulders and bust are about the same, if not exactly the same, as your hip, bum, and thigh. You can wear either of those styles. Plus, you can also get away with a slightly exaggerated grandpa coat. Just be sure that the shoulders hit in the right spot. And also, a collarless wool coat will be perfect and is a little bit more polished and dressier. Capes are another really popular winter trend, and they're perfect for women who need a lighter weight winter coat, whether it's because they live in a warmer climate or just because they want to fill in a gap in their coat wardrobe. If you don't have one, keep an eye out for one that you absolutely adore, because from a purely style standpoint, the casual feel they give adds such a chic, effortless vibe. Let's talk fur, because it is everywhere this season, from just a little to go all out. If you want to try just a little, look for trim at the collar or cuffs or both. This is such a good choice for signature body shape number 6s, whose goal is to add volume from the waist up. Now, when you want to make a true style statement, choose full length fur and pick a fun color like baby blue or pastel pink or even a soft lavender. Now, in case you're just experimenting and color isn't your jam, consider maybe a different textured fur, like a soft, smooth faux mink, or even a shaggy Sherpa fur. The next trend is scarf and funnel neck coats. I kind of threw them in the same bucket because they have so much in common. Just like they sound, a scarf coat has one attached at the neckline. And just like capes, scarf coats add a cool factor to your outfit that's really hard to achieve with any other silhouette. There's a couple of other pros when it comes to scarf coats. The first is that they come in any length that you can imagine. So whatever you're looking for, it'll be easy to find. The second is that you can find whatever degree of drama you want, from a normal scarf width to super wide, super dramatic. Oh, and wait, there's a third. Because the style is all about the scarf, the rest of the coat is typically pretty minimalist, again, making it a great choice for short girls. It's also a perfect choice for signature body shape number 3s and number 6s. For signature body shapes number 3s and number 4s, look for a wool princess coat or a style that's belted at the waist. Not only is it one of the smartest investments because it's such a classic, timeless style, it will feel fashionable for years to come. One caveat though, and that is that it's such an elevated, tailored look, it really needs to fit. So when you try it on, if there's anything questionable, really think twice. One hot style petites should absolutely avoid is an oversized puffer. Anything that makes a 6-foot-tall supermodel look wide will not do us any favors at all. Barn coats should also be avoided, unless you actually have a barn and have to tend the goats and sheep and whatever. They're not awesome on us for a couple of reasons. The first is the length. They traditionally land mid to upper thigh, the absolute hardest length for petites to pull off well. That in and of itself wouldn't be a total deal breaker, but on top of that, they're shapeless and have no definition. Those two things together make that a really bad purchase for us. Now that we know which colors and which styles to look for, let's talk about where to find ones that actually fit. Before we dig in, I wanted you to know that there is also a companion winter coat lookbook with direct shopping links to all of these brands. Do keep in mind, though, that there's only one style highlighted per brand. So if you like what you see, you can always take a look at their whole petite coat section. In case you're in the market for a new trench coat, check out Mark and Spencer. They have one that is a terrific length and beautifully detail-free. Karen Millen has a crazy good selection of winter coats in all the trending styles. Fur accents, classic wool styles, including a brilliant princess silhouette and oodles of different winter colors. Next is another brand to look at. They were originally a UK brand, but now they ship to the US and Canada. Petite Studio has several beautiful scarf coats and classic trench coats. As expected, Reese has a great selection also. They have everything from scarf coats, long wool styles, and classic trench coats. Finally, Hobbs London. Are you ready for a style challenge? Because listening to the episode is great, but putting the tips into action is actually where we move the needle and achieve a closet that we love and are excited to get dressed. So, your challenge this week is simple but super powerful. First, based on the measurements we talked about at the beginning of the episode, do you need to shop petite-sized coats only, or can you get away with regular sizing? Second, do you have a weather-resistant trench coat and a versatile wool coat that actually fits your proportions? If not, make note of which or both of those that you need and then check out the stores that we talked about. Here's the hard part. We have to stay laser focused and try not to get distracted by the fun purple fur one, because focused shopping equals smarter spending and a closet that actually makes our lives easier. And that, my friend, is a wrap. Be sure to follow the show so you never miss out on a petite style tip. Thanks so much for hanging out, and I will see you next week. Thanks for tuning in to Inside Petite Style. When you're ready to create a wardrobe that fits your height, flatters your body shape, and makes getting dressed fun and easy, head over to InsidePetiteStyle.com and take my free Petite Style quiz. You'll get personalized tips and strategies made just for your proportion and your height. And hey, you know that girlfriend who's always rolling up her sleeves and hemming her pants? Share this episode with her. She needs to know she's not alone and that there are real solutions. See you next week. Until then, have fun and stay stylish.
This is for my girls all around the world. They're making themselves heard.